I'm Lynn.
And I'm Mark.
And we're glad you joined us today.
Welcome to the Digital Marketing Hot Seat Podcast,
where small business owners ask us their number one pain point digital marketing question.
And put us in the hot seat.
Hi, I'm Lynn Smargis, and I'm a content writer specializing in ghostwriting, podcast production, and SEO website content.
And I'm Mark Thackeray, and I specialize in social media marketing, specifically Facebook and Instagram ads, email marketing, and email automation.
I'm ready, Mark. Are you ready?
I sure am. Let's do this.
Hey, small business owners, welcome back to another episode of Digital Marketing Hot Seat Podcast. And if you're new, welcome to our podcast. Definitely go back and check out some of the previous episodes that we have. We have some great digital marketing information on here if you are a small business owner, all of the good basic stuff. All right. And on our podcast, you get to listen to small business owners putting Mark and me in the hot seat to answer their digital marketing questions. But this one is going to be a Digital Marketing 101 episode where Mark and I share some of our digital marketing expertise with you. But before we jump into the show today, Mark, how is your digital marketing this week? What kind of client work are you working on?
Oh, it's been a good week. Yeah, it's been really busy. Still just lots of clients wanting to get new campaigns up and running. And so that's what's been taking a lot of attention right now. We've got one client in particular that is, we're just building out a kind of an automated email sequence for one of their services that they launched a new online service basically. And so we're doing a follow-up email series to go along with that. To funnel people back into there, and it's exciting. So it's one of those things that you're in it and it's like, oh, it's a lot of work, but it's such an asset once it's finished. It's just constantly working for you and your business in the background every single day. It doesn't take a break. And so that's what's so exciting too at the same time, even though it can be a little exhausting.
I feel like creating a whole new email marketing campaign is like remodeling your home, right? Like in the process, it's a pain in the butt, but like once you get it done, it's so beautiful and you get to enjoy all the rewards of it for years. And so I feel like email marketing campaigns are the same way. It's like, it takes a lot of work to set them up, but then once you get it done, you get to enjoy all those rewards and benefits of having that amazing email marketing campaign set up and working for you when you're sleeping.
100%. So it's been a fun process and looking forward to completing that and pressing go on that campaign. But what about you, Lynn? How's your week been so far?
Yeah. So I'm super excited about a new client I just onboarded in my new home in McMinnville, Oregon. It's a general tree service, and they are going to be doing blogs with me. And the reason why I'm so excited about this new client is because so Kyle, who is the general manager of the business, who's also managing all their digital marketing, before Kyle walked in, he said they had an old website that looked like it was from the 90s. They didn't have like email market. They weren't doing anything digitally, basically. And they only had one Google My Business listing for 3 places. And so one of their goals this year is to increase their services and their what they do in McMinnville, where I live. And so they wanted to do that with a blog post. And I'm like, that is perfect. So it's so exciting. He sent me over a bunch of ideas that they had. So I'm going to go and plug those into my Google tools to see which one of those topics will get him the best SEO. And then we're going to plan out 12 months of blogs. And so that's super exciting. I love doing that with clients because it gives them a real marketing plan. Okay, this is what we're going to do this month. This is what we're going to do this month. And I love growing with those clients. And, he may add more blogs later on, or he may have me do his email marketing list. So I love starting out like that with clients with a really great plan so they can see the scope and thing of the work that I'm doing for them. And that's really good to really boost his SEO in McMinnville for that content. So I'm really excited to be working on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'll help tremendously.
Yeah, for sure. And so, Mark, we are going to be doing a Digital Marketing 101 episode this week. So what do we have in store for our listeners?
So this episode, we wanted to talk a little bit about Google My Business. It's a some people know what it is, some people don't, but it's essentially your listing on Google. And as a business, you have the opportunity to create an account and update your listing and share your information. And that's one of the things that Google looks at as it crawls for information to respond to queries. So we're going to talk about how you create your Google My Business account. And, why some of the reasons why you definitely should do that,
yes.
Because it improves search engine visibility, your online presence. So that's the topic today.
Yes. And anytime anybody is looking for you, that's the first thing they find. So if you don't know what it is, I'm sure you've gone on Google My Business if you're listening to this podcast, or Google, and you search and you see the reviews come up. That's a Google My Business listing where it tells hours, directions, website, all that good stuff. And that's essential for your business, even if you don't have a big digital marketing presence.
Yeah, it's just a little snapshot, of your business. I mean, it's almost like you could think of it as a little miniature website of sorts. It doesn't have quite the full functionality of that, but it does have a lot of great information that you can provide from, your hours of service, what days you're open, what days you're closed, your specific services, like a menu of services that you provide, and kind of an about page or about section, as well as it gives you insights too, so to look at, what's happened this month or this quarter or this week in your business, how many calls or how many visits or impressions, and so it's a pretty neat tool, but it's super critical if you're looking to improve, your visibility online.
Yes. And if you're older, like Mark and me, in the old days, that was known as a Yellow Pages ad.
Right. Yes.
So anyway, yeah. So Google My Business. So the first thing you need to do to set it up is you have to have a Google account. You cannot do a Google My Business without a Google account. The Google account is free. So you just need to set up, go on Google and create an account. It's very easy to do. And then you want to make sure you have a business account. And then once you do, you need to go on to www.google.com/business. And then you'll see where it says stand out on Google with a free Google business profile. So these profiles are free. You actually don't have to pay for the profile, which is really great. So Google gives you that listing for free. So you want to submit your business listing. And then the next thing you want, and Mark, did you want to add anything to that?
No, that's good. Yeah, I'll add some stuff down the road.
Okay. And then one of the things you definitely want to do is adding photos of your business, because let me tell you, I know from my experience, when I look at other businesses, if they have photos and I can see the inside of their business and stuff, I'm way more likely to go in and shop at that business or call them than if they don't have photos. So photos of your team, photos of doing what you do, like during the day, whether that's a product or a service. Stock photos you can also use as well. I use some stock photos on my Google My Business listing. So just make images, as we know, and video you can put on there as well, are really important to really draw people in to your Google My Business listing. You also want to add all of your services. This is another thing people really miss out on, is not adding their services and descriptions of their services, because that really increases your searchability on Google. So people can more easily find you if you list your services. If people are looking for like a hairstylist in where I live, or a hairstylist near me, if you have hairstylists in your services, then Google Business will show you as one of the results. If you don't, though, it might, depending on what your Google My Business listing says, it may or may not show it. So you definitely want to add, in addition to just your listing, add each individual service as well. And all of this can be done from your Google My Business homepage account. And it's really easy to navigate. Everything is very intuitive.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's neat, is that it is pretty self-explanatory. Once you hop in there, it kind of tells you what to do, so if that's something that you would like to do, you can do that. You can also hire a professional to do that and really take full advantage of everything that you'll see in there. But I mean, just going back quickly to the photos, I'm looking at a Google My Business account that we have for a client, and it shows like, oh, this photo has been seen, over the past 12 weeks, over 12,500 times, in the last 3 months. And so it gives you little stats and insights, and it shows how much you're being viewed online, which is really cool.
Yeah. And if you're looking for somebody to help you with writing your Google My Business account, that's really easy to do, because you can set up somebody as an administrator, so they don't have full access, but they can get on and, post pictures for you, write about your services. And I do offer that service. So if you are looking for somebody to help you with writing your content for your Google My Business account, definitely hit me up at lynn@writeforyou.me. All right, Mark, we also need to tell our listeners about, there is a verification process. So it used to be you had to have a brick and mortar store to get on Google My Business, but that is no longer the case. So if you have a brick and mortar store, they'll send you a postcard, and then you have to verify your listing. If you don't have a brick and mortar store, though, you have to tell Google My Business that you're not a brick and mortar store, but you do have to offer your services, that you will go to your client's place and offer your services there. So there is a caveat to, you have to just make sure you're checking the correct boxes. So Mark, what did you want to add to that?
Yeah, just that it takes a little bit, I mean, you have to wait for the postcard to get there. They have other methods, but you have to choose, I think it's two out of the three methods. And so postcard is kind of the default. You can do email, or they probably have phone or text or something like that. But it's been a little bit since I've done one, but so you have to verify, and it just takes, it probably takes 7 days or, 3 to 5 days to verify. And then for it to be seen on Google, it takes a little bit too. So just know that going in, and that but you'll be able to start filling out your profile once you get approval. It may not start showing for a little bit, but it'll show soon enough.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to take a little break right here, but before we we're going to take a little break right here. We'll catch up with you at the second half.
Do you need more people visiting your website? Are you looking for higher ranking on Google searches? Or are you frustrated by the ever-changing rules of social media?
Mark and I are here to take away the headaches and stress of digital marketing with services such as website content, social media ads, and website SEO. We can provide the digital marketing magic you need to increase the number of people seeing your website and clicking on your business links.
Visit our website at www.digitalmarketinghotseat.com and hit us up on our contact page to reserve your complimentary consult. Find out how our marketing team can take the worry and hassle of digital marketing off of your plate and onto ours.
All right, before we jump into the last half of our show, Mark and I invite you to subscribe to the Digital Marketing Hot Seat podcast on your favorite podcast player. And make sure you also drop us a review so that other small business owners can find digital marketing information to help them with their business. And definitely watch our video podcasts on both of our channels. You can find myself at Right For You Content Creation on YouTube, and you can find our video on Mark's website, which is markthackeray.com. While you're there, definitely check out his email marketing service. I use it all the time and it's awesome. As always, the links mentioned are going to be in our show notes underneath the album cover. So in the first half, we talked about setting up your Google My Business profile and why it's so important, and that you should add videos and photos. And then there is a verification process. But the most awesome thing about the Google My Business listing is that once you have it, one of the great things is you can ask your clients for reviews. And as we all know, reviews are the thing people choose businesses over, right? Like I know I have, out of all of the writers in my area, I have the most reviews and I have the best reviews out of all the businesses in my area, which is really important to me. And how you can ask somebody for a review is that Google, your Google My Business listing will have a link. And so what I do to get reviews is that when I finish a project and someone's emails me back and they're like, I love the content, blah, 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 I immediately reply back to their email and it was like, hey, this is my, Google review. Would you please mind leaving me a review? And also in the review, tell what service you used, because that increases your searchability. So instead of just saying like, hey, I used Lynn for my content and she was really great, people put in there like, hey, I've used Lynn for podcast show notes, or I just used Lynn to create a lead magnet and I really liked her work. So make sure you ask them to put your specific product or service in your Google review. Mark, what else do you want to add to that?
That's such an important thing. I mean, it does make it easier because, you just provide them with a link. But I think something that you touched on, Lynn, that some people might not know is or just realize is that there's kind of that sweet spot moment when you really ideally should be asking for a review. And that's just like you described. It's when the client comes back and says, oh man, this has been terrific. I've loved working with you. That's the moment that you chime in and say, oh, thanks. That's so cool that you said that. Would you mind just sharing this on a Google review? Because it's going to help me out tremendously. And most people are going to say yes. I mean, if they're sincere about what the type of work that you do and they really like it, then they will, it'll go on there, and it really takes like a minute, and so that's so important because of the social proof. But it's, in terms of searchability and visibility online, Google looks at that and pays close attention to the quality of review, the quality of reviews that you have. So your overall rating, but also the number of reviews, as well as the recency of reviews. So, we need, those are constant. Like we need to continually be adding reviews or generating reviews. Otherwise they don't rank us as high.
Yeah. The one thing you don't want to do though is have a whole bunch of people leave you a review on the same day, because then Google will pull down, because they'll think that it's a bot and they'll pull down all your reviews. So I try to do, like, every month, ask my customers to leave me a review, or I'll like email a specific customer. So that's really important, that you don't ask everybody at the same, like, hey, can everybody do this on the same day? And also, one of the great things about Google My Business is when you're on your account, you can have the person who's managing your Google My Business account, or you respond to reviews. That's super important too, even good and bad. So if it's a bad review, you can say like, hey, how can we make this better? Because it shows the person reading the review that you are responsible. Don't do something like, I saw a UPS store in Park City one time, someone left them a bad review, and their response back was, it's because of customers like you that this happens. Don't leave stuff like that. That's a bad idea. But definitely respond to them in a way that is professional. Like, how can we make this better? Please give us a call and we'll resolve this, something like that, to show people that you do care, that, if somebody did have a bad experience at your business, and we all have those. So it's, it's not the end of the world, but you do want to respond to that review. Not responding to a negative review, especially if you already found positive reviews, does not look good for your Google My Business review. So make sure you respond to everything.
Yeah. And just use that as an opportunity to learn and grow, and just know, just like Lynn said, I just want to reiterate that people will see that, whatever you respond, this is not the forum to argue, just take it, take it on the chin and be the better person, and just use that as a chance to show everyone else that, hey, although I'm not perfect, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this right. I think people are pretty reasonable with that. They see that, they don't demand perfection. They just want to know, okay, if something does go wrong, what are you going to do about it? And this is a great way to, responding to a negative review is a great way to showcase that your commitment to your customers. So and like Lynn said, always respond to the reviews, even if it's a quick, like, thanks, Lynn, for the review. It's always great to see you, or something like that. Like, it doesn't need to be very long. But I also liked your recommendation on, when asking for reviews, just be specific on what you want them to say. You're not telling them what to say, but just you're coaching them on saying, be specific in your review in terms of what type of services that you receive from our business, or things like that, because that does help tremendously.
Yeah. And Mark, do you want to talk about updating your business information? Because this has been extremely important, especially because COVID, a lot of people have been changing their business hours.
Yeah. So this is what Google My Business is really known for. It's a central hub. It's like the source of all truth for you to go and update your hours of operation. Maybe you were, like a dental practice. We've got a lot of clients in the dental space, and they had to change their hours during COVID, and continues to evolve. And so this gives you a chance to do that. And it'll affect some of your other listings and things like that. But it's so you can update your hours. You can show maybe you have a change of address, or you can, update your services, things like that, so that it's consistent across the web. That's one of the things that, when it comes to search engine optimization, is that they want to see that and they're pretty nitty gritty about this, but they want to see that the address on your website is the same on your Google listing, is the same on your, another listing in a directory, for example, or on your Facebook page. They want to see that, if I have South spelled out, then it's spelled out on the website, it's spelled out on Google My Business, it's spelled out on social media. Like, they're that particular. And so this is a great way to kind of centralize it with Google My Business. And then you can copy and paste from there onto all your other listings to make sure that that's consistent, so that you can increase your visibility and search engine optimization.
Yeah, no, those are really important. And another thing that has been really driving a lot of traffic to websites lately is creating articles on Google My Business. A lot of people don't know that you can do this, but you can create articles on Google My Business and put them out on a consistent basis. So right now I'm putting articles out, I think it's the second and fourth Monday of the month. And they have been generating a lot of website traffic. Like, I get emails from Google saying like, hey, your website traffic has gone up this much, which is really great, because that's what we want. We want people to come to our website, and we want people to, get there. And that's a really low cost way to do it. So you can write them yourself, or if you need help writing them, please contact me. I'd be glad to help you. But yeah, just writing, and you don't have to do them every week. If you do it twice a month or even once a month is better than not doing them at all. But Google My Business Google has been really, really highlighting these articles. I think I don't know. I think they might be trying to compete with LinkedIn, but either way, it's definitely a great way to drive more traffic to your website.
Yeah. And there's more to it, but this is a great overview, you guys, to just get started with Google My Business, create an account or claim an account if there's already one listed for your business. And then really start to develop fill out your profile, so photos, your information, services, and be specific so that you can increase your searchability with different keywords and things like that. And then manage your reviews and generate more reviews in addition to that. And so this is a great little primer. We may do who knows, maybe we'll do a screen share episode down the road on Google My Business. If you guys want to see that, then just leave us a message, send us a message in the comments, and we'll plan on that in the future.
Yeah, that would be really cool. All right. And remember, if you're listening, reach out to us if you have any questions about your digital marketing. Mark and I would be happy to help you out. We love to help small businesses. We love to work with small businesses and help them grow and grow alongside them as well with their digital marketing. You can visit our website at www.digitalmarketinghotseat.com.
We're so glad you joined us on today's episode.
Tune in each week for a new digital marketing hot seat question from a small business owner just like you.
And if you're interested in being a guest on our podcast, go to digitalmarketinghotseat.com and fill out our interview form.
And remember, make sure to like and subscribe to the Digital Marketing Hot Seat podcast on your favorite podcast player.